Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of Spark. I'm Coach David. Hope you're doing fantastic on today. Hope that you are up and at it and getting after it on today, and that your life is getting better every single day. Remember, you're the architect of your life. In other words, you design it, you build it because you're going to live it. And so I hope you'll make it the very best life that you can. Don't sell yourself short. Don't look at it like, oh, I won't be able to do that. With the proper mind and moving forward and putting in the action, you can get it done. Well, I want to jump back into what we were talking about on last week as we began to talk about that you can either find a way or you can find an excuse. So we entitled the lesson last week, Find a Way Excuse. So this is part two of that lesson. If you remember, we talked about going in and we said the great Jim Rome, he made a statement. He says that if you really want to do something, you're going to find a way. And if you don't want to do something, you will find. And so when we looked at that, we said every time we face a challenge or problem or some difficulty in life, that we have one or two things that we can do. We can find a way. In other words, we can take responsibility, we can work at it, we can adapt, and we can overcome, or we can find an excuse. We can blame others, we can quit too early, or we can hide behind some reason. As one of my mentors always says, he says, excuses are the crutches of the uncommitted. And so when you look at that, you have to make a determination that you're going to be committed, that you're going to figure it out, that you are going to find a way, and you're going to get it done. But when you look at excuses, now, when you look at excuses, this is what you come up against. Excuses are just lies that we tell ourselves in order to stay comfortable. In other words, you're going to have to stretch yourself sometime. And when you look at an excuse, many times an excuse is the thing that's delaying your dream, the thing you want the most. Every time you make an excuse, you get further away from your goal. So what you have to make a decision to do is that, nuh-uh, not me. No longer am I going to make an excuse, because I understand this, that when I make an excuse, now that could later on cause me to regret what I didn't do, regret not putting in the action, regret not moving forward, regret not figuring it out. And then I get to a situation where I'm like, oh my God, look, so and so did this and so did that. And look at the end results of what they did. And I had the same opportunity. Actually, I was better equipped than they were. But yet and still, because I hid behind an excuse or I found some reason why, I didn't get it done. So it breeds that regret. Now, something that we all have to be careful of is that excuses are very, very contagious. So what you need to do is check who you're surrounding yourself with, because the people you surround yourself with, if they're excuse makers, it becomes very, very easy for you to become an excuse maker. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Let's say, for instance, you surround yourself with a group of people and we say, hey, we're going to the gym, we're going to get it done, we're going to work out every day. But you have this one particular person in the group and say, hey, look, we can miss the gym today. One day is not going to hurt. And so then one day becomes 2 days and 2 days becomes three. And before you know it, you've missed a whole week of not going to the gym because of the people you surrounded yourself with. So you need to be very careful of the friends, quote unquote, that you allow to validate your bad habits or to validate your excuse. Because I mean, we're all in this together. And if you're not careful, that's exactly what will happen. You want some people who are going to tell you the truth. You want some people who are going to look you in the face and say, yeah, this is going to be tough. Yeah, this may be rough, but guess what? I am going the distance. Oh, you're not going? That's okay. I'm going the distance. Why? Because I made a commitment to myself that I'm going to figure this thing out. I made a commitment to myself that no matter what, I'm not hiding behind some shady reason. I'm going to get it done, and I'm not going to allow an excuse to stay in the way. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to find a way. What do you mean by that? Where there is a will, there is a way. You've heard that before, and it is very true. When you make a determination that I'm going to get this done, something begins to happen on the inside of you. One of my mentors, he says it like this: you get more on your way than when you first start. What does he mean by that? He's just get started, and you're going to find that you're going to walk right into or come into contact with the people, with everything to get the job done. But when you make it, that doesn't happen because you have made an excuse, a reason why not. So no matter the very need could be bumping, and because of your excuse, you now limited what you can have. See, your desire is the foundation for every achievement. That's right. When you have that desire, you have several things working for you. Number one, you have this vision of victory. What do you mean by that? You see the end result. And you know that if I just go for it, that I am going to get what I desire. You also have this thing that you know that sometimes I've got to make sacrifices. I've got to do it. Why? Because when I sacrifice, when I make those sacrifices, sacrifice is what brings success. And sometimes I've got to give up some things. I may have to give up sleep. I may have to give up, rest. I may not be able to do the friends are doing. Why? Because I've made a determination about something, and my desire for that is the foundation of the achievement of that. So when I understand that, I begin to look at it a little bit differently. And I understand this right here, that even though sometimes it's going to be uncomfortable, I'm going to be in a little bit of discomfort, but I know this right here. My desire can overtake and win me over from my discomfort. So I got the vision of victory. I got the sacrifice for success. And I also have a desire to go overcome the discomfort. And when I do that, I now begin finding a way. This is what finding a way means. Finding a way means focusing on solutions, not on obstacles. What causes many excuses is that we're so focused on the obstacles, the challenges that stand in our way, that we can't see the solution that may be right there before us. What we have to learn to do, we got to become solution oriented and say, you know what? I don't know the way. I don't know. But you know what? I know there's got to be a way because other people have accomplished this, and I'm no different than them. If I have the proper mindset going into this, I can do the exact same thing. So you got to have that. You've got to make it a determination that no matter what, I'm not going to cave in. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to make an excuse. No. I am going to adapt. I'm going to take responsibility for this, and I am going to overcome it. And if you will make that decision, things will begin to happen. See, in life, challenges are inevitable. They're going to happen. You can count on it. But it's not the challenge, it's how you respond that determines your success. And so and I always say this, you have the ability to respond. That's called responsibility. And if you make the right decision, and I'm going to give you a couple of them, if you make the right decision and you start moving forward in this, if you will just think differently, remember, I always tell you, it's all about how you think. So how should I be thinking, Coach David? Help me out. Coach me here today. That's what I'm going to do. Here's the first thing. You must be problem solver mindset. What do you mean by that? In other words, when you go into this, you've got to have a mindset that I can solve this problem. And you got to look at it like this. This is the way I look at problems. Problems are just like a jigsaw puzzle. They just got to be solved. I've got to put the pieces where they need to go. I have to orchestrate it, and maybe that piece doesn't fit there. So maybe I need to set that piece off to the side for a minute and grab another piece. Aha, I found it. And that piece right there fits right where I needed to go. And if I continue to do that piece by piece by piece, before you know it, I have the completed puzzle. That is what a problem solver mindset or problem solver mentality is all about. Understanding. I mean, this is awesome. Think about it. When you get a puzzle in the box It says there's 200, 300, however many pieces are in there. And the thing about it is you take it piece by piece by piece by piece until you get it done. And sometimes it may take a little bit longer on some puzzles. Sometimes it doesn't take as much time on a puzzle, but nevertheless, the person that continues to work at it, putting that puzzle together, gets the beauty of the picture. And here's the thing that's so awesome about it. Normally on the cover or the box of the puzzle is the picture. So you have an example before you. That's what you need to do when you have that problem solver's mentality. Somebody has accomplished this before. I need to go get a picture, an image of that, and begin to go to work. And when you do that, that's when things start coming together. Well, what did you mean by that piece by piece? Well, think about it from this standpoint. All you have to do when you look at a puzzle, it's been broken down into pieces. And what you do is that you take this piece and put it with this piece in order to get the complete puzzle. That's the way life is. When you face a challenge in life, it's just a puzzle. If you will continue to have that problem solver mindset, that problem solver mentality, and you begin to take it piece by piece by piece and put it together, before you know it, the whole thing will be together. I'm going to show you something else about that puzzle. Take a puzzle and lay it out with all the pieces. Just set it there. And when people come over, they'll start helping you put that puzzle together. People will come over there, and now they may not do as much as you're doing, but they're going to come over and they're going to look and be like, oh, I think that goes there, and I think that goes there. This is what we talk about, getting help. What do you mean? When you are going through a challenge in life, you have the problem solver's mentality. You've broken the puzzle down piece by piece. Now all you need is a little help. Seek help. Seek guidance. Become resourceful in what you're doing. And before you know it, that challenge, being in a bunch of pieces, will become a beautiful picture. That's what it is all about. So that, just remember, puzzles are going to come up in life. That's the challenges. But how you respond to that puzzle, that makes all the difference, and that determines your success. So I hope this has helped you on today, but I want you to remember this right here. Excuses are the enemy of excellence. What are you talking about? When you look at that, when you make an excuse, you can't excel. You can't go higher. You can't go further. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to find a way. Why do I want you to find a way? Two very important reasons. I'm going to wrap it up with this. Two very important reasons I want you to do it. Number one, you unlock your potential. You not only that, you tell yourself, begin to teach yourself what's possible. And number two, you inspire other people that they can do the very same thing. And so that's what it's all about. One, I'm going to help myself. Two, I'm going to help everybody else by finding a way. Your success is not determined by what happens to you. It's determined by how you respond to what happens to you. So I ask you again, are you going to find a way, or are you going to find an excuse? I trust that these two lessons have helped you. I trust that you will share them with other people. And I also believe this right here, that if you will just find a way and unlock your potential and inspire others, you're going to make our world a better place. This is Coach David. Remember this right here. Remember this as I wrap it up. You are the architect of your life. I'm Coach David. I believe in you. Now go find a way this week. I'll see you next week. Bye.